Hey everybody, it's Angie and welcome to Hot and Flashy. In today's video, I wanted to talk about how I stay slim and keep my belly flat after menopause over the age of 50. So I've been doing these what I eat in a day videos every year, well, almost every year since I turned 51. And at 51, I was premenopausal, although I was perimenopausal, but I wasn't through menopause. Now it's 9 years later and I am fully through menopause. I'm on the other side. I'm postmenopausal. I'm 59. I'm going to be 60 in just 6 months. And I gotta say that once I became postmenopausal, I was having a hard time maintaining the same results that I had been earlier, because that's what happens. When we become postmenopausal, our body stops producing estrogen. And unfortunately, when our body stops producing estrogen, our metabolism slows down by as much as 15 to 20%. So that's a lot. Imagine if you're still eating the same amount of food and you're still working out the same amount, you're going to get 15 to 20% less results, let's say, or heavier, or muffin top, or, belly fat in the middle than you would have before you lost your estrogen. And even though I am on hormone replacement therapy, I still struggle a little bit with my weight and with belly fat and with keeping my muscle mass, keeping my muscles nice and strong, and being able to do the workouts that I did and getting the same results with them. Because of course the estrogen that I'm replacing is not to the levels of the estrogen that I was naturally producing before I was postmenopausal, right? So even though you can get estrogen therapy, HRT, and it does help a bit, it's not going to help 100% and be like a silver bullet that's going to make it suddenly super easy. So even though I was eating pretty lean and pretty healthy and exercising 3 to 4 times a week, I still had to up my game a little bit more to maintain my results post-menopause. And so that's what I'm here to tell you today, is that this is the reason that menopause sucks so badly, is because there isn't a magic pill. Even estrogen isn't the magic pill to make your weight loss goals suddenly happen. And what it takes is diligence and hard work. And I know like a lot of people don't want to tell you that, because who wants to hear it? But you know what? That's what works. So if we were to go back and look at, say, one of my What I Eat in a Day videos from 2013, the original one, I ate fairly healthy, but there were some things in there that I have weeded out over time. Back then I was eating like a roll-up sandwich with deli turkey. I don't eat as much processed foods now as I did then, and that's one of the big keys to keeping your weight off during menopause, or losing weight during menopause, or keeping your belly flat during menopause, is getting rid of a lot of the processed foods and a lot of the added sugars that come with the processed foods. Also, a big key is not to eat foods that are labeled low fat, because unfortunately, it's a big marketing ploy. What the food manufacturers have done is they've taken the fat out of food and they've replaced it all with sugar. And unfortunately, sugar is so bad for you. It increases the inflammation inside your body. It turns right into fat. And so it just makes you pack on weight, especially around the middle, as opposed to foods that are prepared from scratch, that are fresh, and that you make at home yourself. But I've got to say that I always had a soft spot for sweets. I have a real sweet tooth. Sugar is my downfall. It's my arch nemesis in life. So something that's really helped me out is I started tracking what I was eating with an app on my phone. It's called MyFitnessPal. And I love this app. I actually started using it back in 2015. And so I had put in everything that I eat every day, plus my exercise, into this app, and it tracked everything right down to the micronutrients. And that was so helpful for me, because every single week and every single month, what it kept telling me was that I wasn't eating enough protein, but I was eating too many carbohydrates and way too many sugars. And I knew I was eating too many sugars. As I said before, sugar is my downfall. I have a sweet tooth, but I had to figure out ways that I could cut out more sugars. So using MyFitnessPal and figuring out where those hidden sugar grams were in my diet, I was able to reduce them from about 100 grams of sugar a day down to about 50 grams a day, which is a good amount for me. It keeps the belly fat away, and that I think is what made the biggest difference in the belly fat. All right, so reducing the sugars was the first thing that I did. The second thing that I focused in on was increasing my unsaturated fats and my omega-3s and decreasing my saturated fats. And here's another sad part about being postmenopausal. Your HDLs, which are your good cholesterol, they go down. And your LDLs, which are your bad cholesterol or your lousy cholesterol, they go up. Good sources of unsaturated fat are chicken, turkey, fish. A really good source of omega-3s are salmon in particular. I eat a ton of salmon. Then you can also get unsaturated fats and omega-3s from olive oil, avocados, walnuts, and soybeans and soy products. So I've tried to add a lot more of those into my diet. I love salmon. I could eat it every day, which I do. And as you've seen in my What I Eat in a Day videos, I eat a big salad for lunch every day with some salmon salad on it. And I make the salmon salad here at home. I make it with yogurt, so it's super healthy. But I would definitely recommend, if you want to see exactly what I eat in a day, to go and take a look at my What I Eat in a Day video from last year, because it's just about the same. I'll link it for you right up here, as well as in the info box below the video and at the end of the video. And if you want recipes, I have a lot of recipes on my blog. I've got all the recipes for my lunch salad and my salmon that I ate for dinner, and a lot of my heart healthy recipes are on there. All right, so my third change that I made was that I increased my dietary fiber. Eating more fiber helps you to maintain a healthy weight. It helps keep you feeling fuller longer. It helps to regulate your digestive tract. It has been shown to also lower your cholesterol. It helps to control your blood sugar, and it reduces your risk of gastrointestinal cancers. So a high fiber diet is super important. So some swaps that I made is I switched from white rice to whole grain rice. I brought in quinoa. I eat a lot of almonds, a lot of avocados, lentils, kale, raspberries, chickpeas, black beans, oats, walnuts, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds. Dark chocolate is also a really good source of fiber. So I'm able to continue to have my almonds covered in dark chocolate. A really good snack that really satisfies my sweet tooth, but is also increasing my fiber intake. And so then the fourth thing I changed in my diet is that I increased my protein. Now, this is an interesting one. I had never known about this one before, but you guys know me, I research everything. So as it turns out, aging bodies process protein less efficiently. And so you need to eat more protein to maintain the same muscle mass, the same bone strength, and to get the same health benefits out of the protein that you're eating than you did when you were younger. Increasing your protein helps to reduce your appetite, increases muscle mass, maintains bone mass, reduces cravings, boosts your metabolism, and increases fat burning, which is so important since post-menopause, once we lose our estrogen, our metabolism declines by that 15 to 20%. That's a win-win right there. It also lowers your blood pressure and helps you maintain your weight loss. So for me, I've had to increase my proteins to about 60 grams a day, and that's a place where the MyFitnessPal app has helped me to do that. What you can do that's really cool is you can go in and you can adjust what you want your percentage of protein to be in a day, or how many grams of protein you want to eat in a day. Let me just run down the list of good sources of protein first. They are chicken, turkey, fish, salmon, of course. Shellfish are also good sources of protein. Quinoa, eggs, Greek yogurt, almonds, lentils, pumpkin seeds, peanut butter and almond butters, and tofu. And do you notice something about the 4 different lists that I've given you? They all have repeats of some of the same things. I noticed that salmon was on a lot of these lists. I noticed that quinoa was on a few of these lists. Almonds was on almost all of the lists. So those are really good things to really pack into your diet. Like I have gone, some would say, overboard on salmon, but there's no downside to eating a lot of salmon because it is not one of the fishes that tend to have high levels of mercury that you should limit how much you eat of it. Another thing not to forget about, drink plenty of water. If you're still drinking sodas, cut out the sodas. That's a huge place where there are added sugars in your diet. Just drink water. It's so much better for you. Water is good for every system in your body. You should be getting like 4 to 8 cups of water a day. I just fill this guy up 3 or 4 times. This is probably 2 cups of water per, and I just have this with me and I drink it all day long. So always increase your water intake. Did you know that from the age of 30, we lose 3 to 10% of our muscle mass per decade. So in your 30s, 40s, 50s, let's say you've lost 10% per decade, you've lost 30% of your muscle mass. It's really important to keep your muscle mass intact, and you can do that by eating the right foods. You can also do that by exercising regularly. Weight-bearing exercise is so important to keeping your muscle mass up. It's also important for keeping your bones healthy. Your bone health is directly correlated to your muscle health. As we get older, we tend to get more sedentary, and that leads to weight gain and everything. So just being a little bit more active, whether it's just going out for a walk, a vigorous walk a couple times a week, it's really important to get your heart rate up. As I said before, it's really important to do weight-bearing exercise. So lifting weights is so good for you. I know a lot of women don't like the idea of lifting weights. They're afraid they're going to get bulky, but you know what? I love the look of a toned arm. I want to get my arms back to the way that they used to be, where they were a little bit more muscly. I just love it. I think it's just the best look. I also joined the Peloton app. I don't have a Peloton tread, and I don't have a bike yet. I think I'm going to buy a bike, but until I get the bike, I just want to know if I would like their workouts, and so I just joined their app. It's like $12 a month, and it has really helped me with the workouts, and it's got hundreds of thousands of workouts. No matter what you want to do, it will have it. It has bar workouts, Pilates, yoga, strength, stretching, of course, the cycling, the treadmill. If you are a runner, there are running workouts. So I just work out with weights here in my home, and I do a series of weight-bearing exercises, which is good for maintaining muscle mass and helping with the bone health. So I do those, and then I mix in some cardio workouts with it. So those were all the changes I've made. I didn't make them all in one day. These were gradual changes that I've made over time. If you've been with me for a long time, you've seen the changes in these videos that I put out every year or two on what I eat in a day. But I thought this year it was important to go into more of the detail of why I eat, what I eat, and not just be like, I was afraid of having a heart attack, so I cut all these things out of my diet and here I am, right? Because that doesn't really help you so much. I think the why behind it and the specifics of what you can bring in really helps. But I did want to show you a few of the things that I made for dinner the last couple of nights. I just took pictures of them so I could show you a few things that I ate. What I'm eating on this night is salmon, zucchini, and rice. This is a whole zucchini, and all I did was saute it in a pan with a little bit of olive oil and some salt and pepper. The salmon, I do a dry rub that's mainly curry, cumin. It has some seaweed flakes, some sesame seeds. I put some nutritional yeast on top, salt and pepper. I pan-sear that. And then the rice is just like a raw whole grain rice Tex-Mati mix that I get. This next one is a tofu vegetable rice bowl that I made a couple nights ago. This has two kinds of kale in it. I did sauteed kale, and then I also made kale chips in the air fryer and sprinkled them over the top for a little crunch. It's got sauteed mushrooms in it. This one was so filling and so delicious. Then here's a pasta dish I made. This one is also vegan. This one has just these little corkscrew pastas. It's got white beans, mushrooms, and kale in it. That one was delicious. I used very little cheese. It basically has olive oil and garlic. And that's about it. And then, oh, this is really fun. I used to love Crunchwrap Supremes, but they are so bad for you. So I decided I would make a healthier version of it myself. So I made one in the air fryer. I made one in a pan just to see which was better, but they were so delicious. I used ground turkey, just seasoned it up like a taco. Then I put avocado and lettuce and tzatziki inside, and it was delicious. All right, so that is everything that I wanted to say today about how to stay slim and reduce belly fat once you're postmenopausal over 50. It definitely is not easy. I'd say the hardest part for me was cutting out a lot of sugars. I still do have some sugars in my diet. Obviously, you can't cut them out completely. It's best to take baby steps, get there gradually. Like I said, I didn't do this overnight. It took years to kind of strip these things out and figure out what was happening and what was going on, but I'm hoping that some of this information that I've shared with you today will help you in your weight loss journey and in your postmenopausal life as well, so that you can be the happiest, healthiest postmenopausal woman that you can be. And that's mainly my goal here, is to have you be here with us for a good long time, and to be healthy while you're doing it. So anyway, that's what worked for me. I hope that if you give it a try, that it can work for you. All the recipes are linked on my blog. You can find the link to my blog down below in the info box. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. As always, I thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you being here and watching. So have a great day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.